Hello everyone, it's Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today I'm doing a 500-piece Galison puzzle, and this one is called Flowers, but I did see that it was also called Rainbow Flowers, which does make sense because it is a pure-on gradient of flowers, aka not my strength. Flowers are difficult. This is going to be a tough puzzle. Or at least I thought it might be an easier one, but I looked on myspeedpuzzling.com. No one's under 50 minutes. To be fair, some of those times are a little bit older, but again, it is Galison, and so Galison can be a little tricky. They are deceivingly hard. I do think that I've picked up a few, and I'm like, oh, well, this should take under 50 minutes easily, and I end up being over 50 minutes on some of them. So, you know, it's one of the things I keep doing is underestimating Galison puzzles, so I've got to kind of put that in perspective for this one. It is flowers, it's a gradient, it's going to be a bit difficult. But I do want to practice this for the showdown, just to practice flowers, just to practice gradients, and maybe try to work on my flipping and shorten the border speed a little bit. So while I'll keep my two goals of under the hour for my general and under 45 minutes for my 11 pieces per minute goal, I do think that I'm going to be over 50 minutes on this one, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a harder puzzle. There's a lot of red and pink start to blend together, especially. And Galison is usually only two-prong pieces, which means there's no other shape to sort. Basically, you really can't shape sort. It is the same shape, but they are relatively good about not having false fits. So that's kind of a surprise regarding that there's only the same shape piece, basically. So I do think that the border is going to be an essential one for me to do on this. And I do think that I will probably end up doing the bottom up. So I'll start with the purple, blue, green, and then move my way up to the harder section up top. But I did look in the box, and surprisingly, it is not just the two-prong puzzle pieces. There are pieces that have the three, you know, they have the one. So maybe it was an older Galison, or maybe a newer one where they've kind of diversified the piece shapes. I'm not sure. So that might be a good thing for me if I need to shape sort at the end, if there's a lot of red and pink that are just tripping me up. So I will try to stick to being under 45 minutes, but I suspect with this puzzle, I'll probably be about 52 minutes. So it'll be my old pieces per minute goal that'll probably end up happening with this one. But, I mean, this pink flower here is kind of distinct, so that might be alright. We'll see. I've gotten better at flowers, but I don't think I've improved too much on gradients. So it'll be an interesting thing to figure out, and maybe if the border will help me out. So I will not try to stay under 40 minutes on this one. This is not going to be a goal for that. If I get it, I'll be completely shocked, but we'll just try to see if I can get under 45 minutes, honestly, with this one. But let's do some practice. Let's smash it. Well, as I predicted, the Galison puzzle was a bit trickier than I anticipated. I have stopped assuming Galison puzzles are easier because they are not. So, this was Rainbow Flowers by Galison, 500 pieces, and I did this in 54 minutes and 9 seconds. So a little bit kind of where I predicted. I thought I'd be a little faster in the 52-minute mark, but based on everybody else's times, I kind of landed where I was supposed to. So first things first, there were a couple things at the beginning of this puzzle that were a bit of an issue. Number one, I did have some technical issues. My phone disconnected from the camera. The camera still recorded, but I try to keep my phone connected to it because it's easier for me just to turn off instead of having to put the board down and go and turn it off manually. So that happened. And then the second thing that happened, my timer started to die, and so I had to go pause the time and plug it in to charge it. So at the beginning, there was that. And then I had a good flip. I had a good border sort. I believe it was under 4.5 minutes for that. So that actually turned out really well. The issue was actually building the border. And while I started building the border, I was okay with the sides, because in Galison puzzles, you can kind of tell which ones are the sides of the puzzle and then the bottom and top of the puzzle. The bottom and top puzzle pieces are fat, and then the sides are skinny. So you can tell, you know, it's on the side or it's top or bottom. So that wasn't an issue, and obviously the color codes made it a little bit easier as well. But I was good for the sides and the top. The bottom was what tripped me up, and I had a piece or two pieces in the wrong spot. So I kind of take back what I said about false fits a little bit. I do think that this one had some false fits that really did trip me up. But really, it was just the border, the bottom of the border, that really was my false fit issue. The rest of the puzzle kind of came together pretty easily. I just unfortunately had such a poor start that I think it affected my ability to puzzle the rest of it. I do think I got stuck a little bit in the orange flowers here. They were pretty similar, and they were not as distinct as the purple, the blues. The green section was probably the easiest, followed by the yellow. Purple was a little tricky too, but I think the purple one is because I just got started with that section. It wasn't built on much but the border. So that was probably a little tricky as well. And then I was surprised the red and the pink sections weren't harder, but they came together rather easily at the end. So I really do think I just made the mistake of struggling with the bottom of the border too long. I should have just kind of abandoned it and moved on to just maybe getting the purple sections together, and maybe that would have fixed the border as I was building the purple section. So that was on me, and then the technical issues kind of messed me up a little bit, got me out of my, focused mindset when I'm speed puzzling. So there was a few things going against me on this puzzle. But we stayed under the hour, which is good. But again, we didn't quite make under our 45-minute goal, which has now been updated to reflect my pieces per minute of 11. And so I know that this is a harder puzzle, so I can't really put too much pressure on myself to try to stay under that 45 minutes. Some puzzles are just harder than others. I kind of have to put my expectations where the fastest puzzlers are. And speaking of that, on myspeedpuzzling.com, I checked. I would be in second place with this time. I think the first place person was about 30 seconds faster than me, so it wasn't off by much. And so this definitely is a harder puzzle. And because of that, I'm not too upset with this time. I'm actually under 55 minutes, which is pretty good. If I can stay under 55 minutes for harder puzzles, we're golden there. So this was very good flower practice, gradient practice a little bit, and I'm honestly pleasantly surprised that the reds and the oranges I didn't get stuck too much on it. So that's usually my week's color, basically, the red. The red gradient part is my weak color. So I kind of feel like I've improved a little bit with that. And so, can't complain about this one. This will be going to the puzzle swap. I'll be taking it to the showdown. Well, they'll be having a big old puzzle swap, and I have a lot of puzzles to bring. So looking forward to that. As for Rainbow Flowers Galison 500-piece puzzle, we sort of smashed it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.